This 11-story hotel is unlike anything Melbourne has ever seen. With an amazing rooftop bar and gathering space, incredible conference facilities, and of course, amazing guest rooms and suites like this one. So if you have friends and family coming to town for a visit, or want to go out and enjoy downtown Melbourne's great restaurants, bars, and shopping for a night or two, Hotel Melby is the place to be. Hello and welcome back to the 411 on the 321. Tales, tenets, and tips from Space Coast business leaders, brought to you by the Melbourne Regional Chamber. I'm your host, Mel Thomas, and I'm so thrilled to be joining you today from a beautiful suite at the Hotel Melby, downtown Melbourne. My guest today is Charles Berry, CEO of TotalCareIT. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back with Charles after a word from our sponsor, Hedrick Brothers Construction.
Since 1979, Hedrick Brothers Construction has been delivering quality construction for the commercial and luxury residential markets of South Florida. In 2020, a team of 2 expanded into the Space Coast region and opened an office here in Melbourne. 3 years later, the team's grown to over a dozen professionals, working on large, local projects and investing in our community. The sky's the limit for the Hedrick team. Get to know them. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome back, and welcome, Charles, to the 411. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm so glad we got you to take some time out of your day on a gorgeous morning here in downtown Melbourne.
It's hard not to make time when it's so pretty outside.
I know,
it's even
right?
harder to go to work.
Yeah, right? Well, let's talk about your work. So, for those unfamiliar, what is TotalCareIT?
TotalCareIT is what's known as an MSP. I guess there hasn't been a lot of names for it. It was a computer company for a while. They've termed it MSP now, technology service provider. We provide IT services to companies that either don't do it well or don't want to do it themselves. And that's the general gist of it. But it's the names have all evolved over the years.
Okay, great. And tell us about your operations here on the Space Coast. What's your history here?
We were the first Microsoft Gold provider or recognized partner. And our customers really didn't care about that.
Okay.
It was cute for us to go measure up against other IT companies. We listened to our customers, and we were one of the first to develop this thing where our goals would align with their goals. And when they had an incident that was bad for us, and it was bad for them too. And they call it managed services now. And we've seen different iterations of that come over the years. The way we do it is completely different. And we've been through a lot of what the learning curves over the years. So I watch other people go through it, and I feel for them sometimes as they learn.
And bravo to you for taking like that customer forward approach, because the certifications are great and all the stars and the whistles and all that fun stuff. But if it doesn't mean anything to your customer, if it's not important to them, then you might as well just throw it in the garbage.
But it means so much to all the other IT companies. Yeah. And I want to look awesome. So
yeah, I know. It's hard, right? To be competitive.
It's what I've learned over the years is the biggest issue is getting out of my own way.
Yes. And listening to your customers. What do they really want?
That used to be really important. And now there's a gigantic shift in at least my market. Yeah. Is looking after your employees first and becoming employee centric. And it's unnerving and it's a little scary because I'm like, what happens if everybody leaves? Yeah. But the reality is we don't have anything without our employees, and making it a work. And it's more than just, oh yeah, we're going to put a hockey rink in our office and we're going to have ice hockey on Fridays. It's more, it's that kind of ridiculous stuff that makes it exciting to go to work. It's gamifying the work environment, and it's really caring about people that work with you. It's not that difficult because I kind of do, but I have to pretend not to sometimes it's just a different approach. And there's a guy, Shale Risman, who's kind of become the authority on it. He's in Canada or something like that. And we're part of an MSP network all over the world. So sharing that brain trust, we're not an island of ourselves trying to figure anything out. Yeah. This isn't rocket science. Yeah. But we used to be rocket science when we were trying to figure it all out ourselves.
It might as well have been.
I feel the pain.
Yeah. So I wonder, what brought you personally to managed IT? Is that always been a passion of yours? How did you start this company?
It was we started out with end time materials is what we like to call it. Same way a law firm would do it. And I've had a lot of experience with law firms for like 25 years doing technology work with them. Law firms understand it the most. our billable hour and this. So when we did that, it was easy. And to kind of move to a managed service approach, like you see car washes now that are managed services. For $20 a month, you can wash your car as much as you want. Well, I really only need to wash it once a month. I don't really wash my car enough. But it's permeating all the industries. And the reason why is because a company is valued so much higher that has reoccurring revenue that doesn't. So it's great for the company that does it, but it's aligning to the customer's goals is really the focus of why we started it. Is listen, it's adversarial time materials.
Right. Well, and speaking of your customers, so who is the TotalCareIT customer?
It's a tongue twister.
It is. Yeah, that's all right. We're going to get it before this is over. Yeah.
Our customers are mostly manufacturing and professional services, law firms, accounting, whichever the case may be.
Okay.
But more importantly than that, most of our customers are very difficult individuals that run a business, that are demanding and that don't tolerate no and understand what the word now means, because that's what they deliver to their customers. So we found that we kind of look for that. Like, are they difficult? Are you demanding? Because those become our giant raving fans.
Interesting. Okay. So now I understand you have an IT industry secret.
I have lots of secrets.
Okay. Can you share one?
So every IT company has engineers that come in and work tickets. And the only way that they can get ahead of that is to have more engineers. The only way to have more engineers is to hire more people. The only way to hire more people is to go out and get more clients. And we grew our business to something that was a gigantic reactive spiral of death. We coined that term and we stopped. And we looked to find a way out. We talked to our brain trust of other IT companies and one of them found a way out. And they shared it to us. And we found a way out of it so that we can have a very different experience. But it affected our customers so much more than it affected us. It absolutely spectacular. And it's a very different result for customers. So continuing to look and not tolerating the status quo is powerful. Don't know if that's a real secret, but that kind of should be.
Well, it's good advice.
Everyone's read all the business books, Good to Great, and the difference between good and great isn't passion. It's boredom. So finding a way, if it's good enough, then I'm not going to take the effort and requirement and habits required to become great. I'm going to be satisfied with good, and that's very common. And I don't knock anybody for that. But to become great requires discipline, and it's a reason to find a way to get up in the morning and go to work even when it's going to be the same as it was yesterday. Because after it's good and why do I need to be a master at this? Because it's never good enough.
Right.
And if I always find that I can be better, why stop?
No, I think that's great. I think complacency is a game changer, and not in a great way for organizations. So good for you. That's awesome. You have been a chamber partner, for what I understand, over 22 years. That's fabulous. Congratulations, and thank you for your support.
I don't want to admit to being that old.
Well, you could say you joined at birth. So on your 22nd birthday, that's today. Yes, absolutely. Happy birthday, by the way. I wonder, can you tell us what drove the decision to join the Chamber 22 years ago and how you still continue that partnership over 2 decades later?
I think Rotary explained it better when I went. I recently became the Rotary Club president for the Yogali Rotary Club. And it's a lot of work. But they went to this thing called PETS, where they train presidents on how to run a group. And I didn't want to go at all, but met a buddy. That's another story that's quite entertaining. But they talked about how newer members, and our club's kind of old, wanted to do it for networking and wanted to build a business. And members that are older than that, they kind of wanted to just hang out with other people that understood what they would go through. And then senior members that had retired wanted to share their experience. So that's been kind of what I've been through with the chamber. I really joined because I wanted to grow a business. I hired people to go to events because I thought I had better things to do. And now that I've got an engine that works the way it's supposed to work, I'm fascinated by businesses, and I have lots of questions that they can answer.
I love the evolution of it, though, why you join and why you continue to stay and participate and at all different levels. So I can't wait to see what the next 22 holds for you.
Okay.
So speaking of the future, what's next for TotalCareIT?
So we've watched the evolution into managed services and what that's done, and building a strategy and a budget. And what I get to see, what's next for us, I see people doing already. So I have mentors that show me the way. Robotic process automation is gigantic. It should revolutionize not just our business, but customers we work with. Chat GPT and some of the AI that's come out is just a game changer. And we talk about, I want to do more with less, and that's just it's a terminology like reactive. We're reactive. It's overused terms. I think we're going to see some of them come to fruition. Like, we have 9 people, and we can do. I mean, sometimes I wish I had 50 people, because when I talk to somebody new, it'd be like, yeah, we have 50 people, and somehow that's some kind of benchmark. But most of the time, I'm talking to people that don't understand what we do, or sometimes what needs to get done. What really matters is our metrics that some other people don't know how to measure, much less improve.
So you just mentioned that you had 9 employees. Are you looking to grow your team? Are you currently hiring?
No, it kind of goes along with the do more with less. Is I don't necessarily need to hire. I move people around, because if I'm not growing our employees who matter the most, and I don't have a career path for them, they tend to look somewhere else. So I have to be able to grow them without growing the number of people, and having a core team that's centered around core values and EOS and everything else everyone's doing. We did EOS years ago. It's wonderful, but building off that core group of people and being very picky about who we add. I don't think I need to add more people.
Yeah, no, I think it's a fantastic strategy. Yeah, good for you. I'm sure you have many, but what's your favorite part of your job?
I really like it when people come to me with problems they can't solve.
Okay.
It kind of
You're in the right business.
It brings out mostly employees, and it brings out a little bit of engineer stuff that I'm like, my knowledge is not totally archaic yet. I can still apply some of it, but I get to apply it to some stuff like outside of engineering, like we need a marketing strategy that talks to this client base that can do this. I'm like, I got a few ideas. And I don't know which ideas are poisonous and which ideas are spectacular. I have a team that kind of can sift through that, but I just have ideas, and sometimes I need them sifted through.
Okay. All right. You're the idea guy. I like it.
I think so.
Okay, cool.
And in EOS, I learned that that's called a visionary, and visionaries are a dime a dozen, the idea guys. It's the people that execute that really matter. They're the implementers. The implementers, I get them mixed up. But that's really what matters, is being able to execute is 90% of the game.
Yeah, well said. So now's the time in our program where we ask all of our guests, if you could share with us a tenet, a tip, a little pearl of wisdom that you learned, whether it's in your personal or professional life, you just think that people watching it would resonate.
I would love to say something horrible, but
okay.
I'm just going to get in trouble. Ask for help. When I started out, I was scared to ask for help. I was scared of other IT companies. I was scared of this. Getting past that and getting past my own fear and being able to ask for help opens up another world of information. There's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to worry about. Just move forward and execute, and getting out of that's what I would say to me if I were to move forward, execute, and get out of your own way, and don't let my preconceived notions of what's supposed to be get in the way of execution.
I think that's great. And I totally agree with you. Ask for help. I respect that so much from my team. Come ask for it before, it gets to be too late.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Charles, for coming on. If folks want to know more about your company, can you share our website? We'll flash it up right now.
TotalCareIT.com.
Well, that's easy. Thank you so much. Yeah. So thanks again for Charles Berry for joining me today. Thank you so much for the Hotel Melby for putting us up in this gorgeous suite. I've been your host, Mel Thomas. If you'd like to learn more about Charles and TotalCareIT or any of our partners, please visit melbourneregionalchamber.com. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.